In this video, I'll demonstrate how to integrate LTI version 1.3 of Cerego Adaptive Learning platform with Moodle 4. Unfortunately, we had to configure this and sort it out via trial and error, as there is not much documentation about this integration. And I thought this would be beneficial to anyone that is trying to integrate this. There are multiple steps to it, but it is doable and it is working at this point for us. So here's how you do it. First, we have to go to the Moodle instance and put some configuration in Moodle, then go back to Cerego, update that, and then come back and forth a couple times between the two systems for the integration to be functional. First, we need to sign into our Moodle and then go under Site Administration, then Plugins, and then External Tools. You need to click on Manage Tools. From here, you need to create an LTI tool by using the Configure a Tool manually. Then give it a name, and then under the tool LTI, you'll need to provide the LTI version 1.3 and then /connect without anything after it. Then under the LTI version, we want version 1.3. Then the client ID is unique to the instance of this LTI integration. So you need to take note of that number by copying and pasting, because you'll need to enter it on the Cerego platform later. Under the public key set, this is the URL, but the last 4 digits in here will be the instance number from your Cerego configuration on the Cerego side of things. So typically it's going to be cerego.com/LTI/V13/JWKS, and then the number, and you'll have to get the number on the Cerego side, and you need to come back and update this value after you configure the Cerego side, because it's not clear where you can do the configuration first in Moodle and then you go and apply the settings on Cerego, or the other way around. You kind of have to update things on both sides at various stages. Then to initiate the login, you're going to use the cerego.com LTI V13 as you see in here. The redirection URL, it ends with the /redirect, so you can take note of that on your own. And then show us pre-configured tool. There are no custom parameters. Embed without the blocks. Support deep linking. And then under services, we use this service to sync the grades in column management, and then use service to retrieve the member's information as per privacy settings. And then the tool settings, we are using this service. Under the privacy, it's always for share the name of the tool, share the email, and accept grades. Under miscellaneous, we don't have any settings in there. So this is, for now, the settings that are configured as part of this LTI integration on the Moodle side. Once you configure the Moodle side, like I mentioned earlier, the client ID is what's important. And typically what you're going to do is click on this item right here, View Configuration Details, and this will give you a summary of your configuration from this tool and some of those settings you're going to need for the configuration on the Cerego side. So if we click here on View Configuration Tools, these are the settings. Now we are going to switch to the Cerego side. And on Cerego, we need to create an authentication component for LTI 1.3 to allow the configuration for LTI 1.3. So we go here under Admin, then we go under Account Setup, and then click on Add a New Client. Pick the version, and then fill in the values for your integration from Moodle. So here we're going to put the name for the authentication. This is just to identify your authentication. Then under the client website, this is where you're going to put the URL to your LMS, which would be the platform ID from the configuration tool details from Moodle. For the client URI, that needs to be the domain URL /mod/LTI/auth.php. And that would be this one. It would match the authentication request URL. Under the client token URL, this is where you're going to put in the item configuration ending in token PHP. So it'll be the access token URL from your tool configuration in Moodle. The public key, it'll be your domain URL /mod/LTI and then ending in certs.php, which is this one, the public key set URL from your configuration. And then the client ID is what you'll need next. Then under client identifier, this would be that code unique to your LTI integration in your Moodle instance. And that's under the client ID in here. Before you press update, take note of this JWK URL option, because this is the instance, this number in here, you need to go back and update it on the LTI integration of your current setup in Moodle. So in my case, it's 2948 for this new one. If I'm going to go back here to the configuration for the LTI, this is where I'll put that new number. The number from here has to match with the new configuration on the Cerego side. That's why I was saying earlier that you configure things first on the Moodle side of things, then you have to go to Cerego and update settings, then you have to come back to Moodle and update the LTI integration. Once you're done with it and you have entered this, then you'll click here on update, and then you're all set on the Cerego side, and you should be also set with the configuration of LTI on Moodle. And then in the next segment of the tutorial, I'll demonstrate how you can pull one of the Cerego sets in a course in Moodle 4.